Okay, we are live, everyone. It is New Year's Eve. It is 8:25 p.m. here in Arizona. 8:25. I'm only going to go for about 20, maybe 20, 30 minutes because I go to bed early. I'm not staying up till midnight. I don't do that. I'm an older man. I need my sleep. But I wanted to do a live stream about 2020. How was your year? How was your year? Tell me how your year was. Tell me something good that happened. I know there was a lot of bad, and you can talk about how it was bad too. But I want to kind of know, what's your first thought about 2020? What was good? What was bad? So, hey, Paula. Hey, Patrice. Hey, welcome to my live stream. I'm here in my motel room. I'm going to keep my voice a little bit lower. And let's just talk about 2020. I might talk a little or share, reflect. I already did my journaling. I'm pretty big with journaling. And sorry, I got to fix my hair here. I'm pretty good with journaling and reflecting on the year. And it's kind of funny because a lot of 2020 for me was the impact of national and global issues and how I responded, and there was some I don't want to say hardships, but there were definitely some sacrifices, and we'll get to them maybe. But at the same time, on a personal level, it wasn't that bad of a year. Like, I worked a lot. I actually had more work as a mental health therapist because more people needed counseling. And I was just working like crazy. I'm not rich, but I mean, I made a nice income and I had a rewarding, work-life balance or whatever you call it. And I'm down here in Arizona. This is my second winter as a snowbird. So I had a good year. There was a lot of hard things, though. I don't even know if I want to get into them, but hey, Sam the King. Hey, Shadoza. Shadoza, how are you? Sam the King. Patrice. Paula. And what would be one word to describe your 2020? I'd love to hear, And by the way, I made this goofy... I'm going to put 2020 right above my finger. So that's going to be the thumbnail. And then afterwards, I'm going to go in and put 2020. Like, how was or I'm going to say goodbye 2020. Or I don't know what I'm going to say. But anyway, I'm just trying. Hey, I made 386 not too shabby videos in the year 2020. That's not too shabby. That's over one per day. In fact, I'm going to pull out my calculator. 386 divided by 366. It was a leap year. That means I made 1.05 not too shabbies. So, how about that? Yeah, Sam the King, 2020 was 50-50. And Patrice, your husband was working from home. Yeah, no, I see. I've been working from home since spring 2018. So I didn't have that much of a sacrifice. I was still working from home when the pandemic hit and everybody was staying home. I'm honestly, and this is hardly anything compared to 340,000 people dying and all that. But like, just the sacrifice of not eating out and not going inside restaurants was a big deal for me. It was a big deal, especially living in Westcliff, because that's my stress reliever. My stress management is to go out to eat, sit in a Mexican restaurant kind of a thing. It's the one thing that I waste my money on. But By the way, I'm still down here in Tucson. I don't eat out, but I do go through drive-throughs, the Dunkin' Donuts. I go to Dunkin' Donuts once a day, get a coffee and a donut. And maybe once a day I go out. Like this evening, I went to Panda Express and, I did the drive-through. I wear a mask. That feels safe. But so I am kind of eating. Anyway. Yeah, Shadozy, you made a not too shabby. Ooh, you don't want a copyright strike. That's right. That's right. So by the way, tonight, my Saguaro of the Day video is, let's see here. This one, I went to this, the Desert Diamond Hotel and Casino. It's over by the airport. I think it's on the Tohono O'odham reservation. All right. So, and then I did a not too shabby of, they had 11 saguaros with lights around the saguaros right in front of the hotel entrance. So I did a not too shabby. Here it is. It's a bunch of saguaros with lights around them. Not too shabby. Yeah. And then, hey, Sam the King. I know you like interactive, not too shabbies. Now, it's not too interactive, but it is. It fits the description here. It's the final day of 2020. Not too shabby. Yeah. The last one, I remember I did one for 2018. 2018, not too shabby. Wait, here. New Year's Eve, 2018. This is exactly 2 years ago. I was home and I had a fire in my wood-burning stove. And here it is. Play. It's my last video for 2018. Happy. Yeah. Yeah. So that was my New Year's 2 years ago. So anyway, I just thought, oh, how is everyone? Hey, Jeff, how are you? There's 3 people watching. There's 3 people watching my live stream. 2020. I mean, obviously the main thing was the pandemic. And it's funny. I looked at my journal, 2018, 2017, 2019. So many personal things were going on that were different and changing. I bought a house. This was going on. I tried this new thing. This surprising thing happened. This hard thing happened, but I overcame it, blah, blah, blah. And like 2020 was like, not a lot really changed for me. Not much change. Like, it just felt like personally, it was more about how I responded to COVID. And, I mean, I have a list here, but the whole COVID thing and anyway, I got 6 people watching. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Perspective Detective. Happy New Year. I'm only going for about 20, 25, 30 minutes. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I have some New Year's resolutions right here. You want what's like one New Year's? I'm not a resolution guy, by the way, but I do believe we have to set goals and declare our goals and our desires. You know what I mean? What are some of your goals? Like, I know for me, wow, some of the stuff is really personal. Because 2020 was a hard year. I lost a lot of friends in 2020. And I mean, I don't even say that as a victim because I ended a lot of friendships in 2020. I was the one that said, this isn't going to work. It was a pretty hard year. So I don't even know where to start. I don't even know that I really want to talk too much about it, but it was hard. Anyway, here's an easy one. I want to ride my bike more without fear. I've gotten into this habit now of sometimes I worry too much about getting flat tires and going too far out and getting a flat in somewhere where it's going to be a pain. And if I need help, all that kind of stuff. I've been overthinking flat tires and riding long distances. And today I went out and I bought a bunch of bicycle tubes, and I'm just going to try to ride more with a little less worry about being stranded or something like that happening. That's an easy one. So, yes, Sam the King, racists go bye-bye. I mean, look, can I just be honest? There's three. It's so crazy. When I think about 2020, I was journaling. I was like, the top three things weren't even really about me. It was about COVID, the absolute disgrace of Donald Trump, and the disgrace over how many people supported him, how many of my friends and family, compromised their integrity, in my view, to support him. So COVID, Trump, and then the anti-racism movement. And I kind of was out there already talking about the racism. I was speaking about it in 2016, saying, hey, I can't support somebody that's in my party because this is it was obvious Trump was a racist in 2016. So he woke me up with that whole thing. And then 2017, 2018. And then, in 2020, it was like, oh my gosh, it wasn't the first time, obviously, that there's been police brutality and all that. But the George Floyd killing was like, wow, that woke me up. And I protested a couple times. I held a sign in my little conservative town of Westcliff, Colorado. And so for me, those are the three things: was COVID, Trump, and kind of the racism, anti-racism issue, and how I responded to them, how it's changed me. And even with COVID, it's not just staying home and the sacrifices I've had to make. And I've been, I've worn a mask. I'm worried about getting COVID. First of all, I just think if there's such a thing as karma or whatever, I don't believe in karma, but there's just a part of me that feels like, oh, it'll be bad for me. Other people, they'll be fine. They might be sick for a few days, but for me, I'll get it real bad. Maybe that's paranoid, pessimistic thinking, but my health insurance is okay, but I've got a high deductible. And I thought, well, I don't want to, heaven forbid, my COVID symptoms were really bad. I'd have a high deductible, so I didn't want to get it. But anyway, there's lots of issues with COVID, but even just having to deal with the anger that would just sprout up maybe once a week, sort of being in some public place and there's some jackass not wearing a mask, being totally selfish, being totally stupid, just being an awful, horrific human being who's just walking around with a middle finger like this, saying, I don't care about you. I don't care about your wellness. I'm all about me, and being a selfish ass. There's just been times where it's like, wow, my anger would just sprout up. you know? And like that was part of 2020 for me, was anger, having a lot of anger, you know, whether it was about racism or whether it was about the silence of my white friends, you know, many of whom are fellow Christians who say they love Jesus and yet didn't have the courage to speak up on a matter of social justice or, you know, something obvious like racism, you know. So for me, there's always a level of anger in 2020 where, you know, it felt like a reckoning where it was like, here we go, you know, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, here we go, more silence, you know, more cowardice, more just absolute disgraceful disdain for those others. And so I spoke out a whole bunch of times. And, you know, there's even some family members, people with the last name of Garufi, where I'm just in a place where I don't know that our relationship will ever be the same. I might not, there's some people I may never talk to again, maybe at funerals or something like that, but that's about it. So for me, 2020 was like the year where I crossed the line. I actually drew the line and said, no more of this. The cat's out of the bag. I'm speaking out. And so, yeah. Yeah. Thanks for wearing a mask. I appreciate it, Christy. Yeah. And by the way, you know, like for the last 4 to 5 years, I don't consider it politics to stand for truth and decency. And sorry, I'm just watching I stand for truth. I stand for decency. I stand for the human dignity of all, standing and upholding the dignity of people. I stand for empathy. Those aren't that's not politics to me. It's not politics. I don't do the whole liberal versus conservative stuff at all. I don't get involved in that. I don't call myself a liberal. I don't call myself a conservative. I'm out of that whole scene. But I do stand for telling the truth. And that means, you know, not associating with liars or engaging in conspiracy theories, especially if you call yourself a Christian. And we're supposed to be known for telling the truth, standing for the truth, having nothing to do with lying or lies or ridiculous conspiracy theories or just making stuff up to justify, you know, your ideology. Once your ideology or your politics become more important than people and the dignity of people, yeah, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. So anyway, I'm ranting a little bit, but that for me, that was 2020. And see, what's crazy is there's been even 2020 was like the reckoning year because I obviously was speaking out and was upset in 2017, 2018, 2019, but there was like, I don't know how to explain it on a personal level, but 2020 was all about how, you know, I just hope if anyone remembers me when I'm long gone, if anybody looks at my Twitter feed, if anyone remembers me, thinks of me, I don't know, even 10 years from now, if I'm still alive, whatever, I want people to remember me and know that Steve Groofy stood for what was right over the last 5 years, that he spoke out, that he wasn't a coward. He was willing to stand for what was right, even if it meant losing everything, his friends, his reputation, what people think of him, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Truth, decency, the human dignity of all. And when I say the human dignity, I'm talking about not being a racist, not dehumanizing people, all the rhetoric of those others. You know, I'm a white male, grew up in an upper middle class neighborhood. I know how white people think. I know how we think about those others, those brown skinned people. First of all, the black people. I know how we think about black people. I know how we think about Muslims and how scary they are. Mexicans, those poor people. I'm done with that. I'm done playing that game of pretending, that racism and bigotry and fear of those others, doesn't exist. I'm done with that. My Christianity demands that I love all people, period. And if your politics or your this or your lifestyle degrades others or somehow dehumanizes others, there's something wrong. So that's where I'm at. So yeah. Hey Kelly, Kansas Kelly is in the house. See, Kelly, I'm ranting about all the stuff. I'm not ranting about politics. I'm ranting about being decent, being truthful, and standing for the dignity of all people. So, hey, everybody, do you see Kelly in the chat area? I'm going to share a video. There's a video of me and her, and it's a really funny one from a long time ago. Here it is. Let me find it here. Come on, YouTube. Stupid YouTube. You're such a piece of garbage, YouTube. Wait. Anyway, I appreciate. Hey, I got 11 people watching. Thank you for. Hey, I'm in just a dingy motel here in Tucson. Today was the first day since I got down here on November 6th where I wore jeans. I didn't wear shorts all day. It only got up to 61 and it was kind of cloudy and I just wasn't in the mood to be cold. And I was sitting at a Starbucks and I knew I was going to a Starbucks. I was going to sit outside and it had where the seats are, it's on the north side. So it was even colder. So I wore jeans. So it was very disappointing. Okay, everyone, this is the video with me and Kelly. This is like 2004 or 2005. Here it is. Come on. So me and Kelly were fighting in a car. We were on a long drive. And yeah, hey, Kelly, thank you. I'm sure your hair looks great too. Kelly, hey, Kelly. Kelly, how are you? How have you been these days? Oh, Kelly, we got to talk, man. We got to seriously talk about life, man. You fed me caffeine that day? Wasn't that the day that you picked me up in Cortez, Colorado with Jesse? And Jesse made this video, and Jesse was driving, and we were fighting, which is nuts. I'm pretty sure Jesse was driving. So, yeah, Kelly, we got to talk, man. We just got to sit down. We got to just talk, man. I remember I texted you. Anyway, for me, 2020 has been the year of, there's been a lot of good personally. It's been very hard nationally. And I'll just be honest with you, I've had a lot of anger, a lot of unrest in my heart. And I've been upset. I'm telling you, man, things are not okay. I'm not going to just go along. I'm 40. I turned 50 in 2021. I turned 50 in September. In 9 months? I'm just done being silent, just being some weasel. If you don't like what I have to say, I'm going to die. don't worry, I'll die pretty soon. So, you know, you can piss on my grave if you want, in anger if you want. That's fine. I'll be dead. But anyway, the whole point I'm trying to make is I'm just done being silent. And I'm noticing as I get older, I'm just tired of, like, words are just coming out of my mouth sometimes and I'm offending people, or I don't know. So anyway, I'm just speaking my piece a little bit. I hope it's righteous anger. I've been actually asking God. I've been saying, and I know, first of all, for people that are like, I'm not pushing my religion. I really, seriously, I'm not about, I know what that's like, and I don't want to ever be like that. But I've been asking God, I've been just humbly asking God, please, if I'm not in the right, please convict me. Please show me the error of my ways. If somehow my stand against racism is off, if my speaking out against Trumpism and the evils of Trumpism, have been off. I don't know. Like, please show me, and so, I'm just leaving it at that. So, yeah, Kelly, you think 50 is the new 30? Hey, Mike. Yeah, man. Hey, Mike, thank you for coming by. Mike, I made 386 not too shabby videos in 2020. And I'm up to 2,112 not too shabby videos. Isn't that amazing? Look, you're not supposed to be prideful or arrogant or whatever, okay? I don't really think I am, but there is one thing that I'm the best at. I'm the greatest in the history of the human race. And that's that I'm the best not too shabby video maker, of the human race. I have no peer. I'm number one. I'm like the Jesus of not too shabby video making. Like here.
It's a Christmas tree made out of tires. Not too shabby.
Isn't that great? It's like Christmas tires, like a...
It's a saguaro skeleton. Not too shabby.
Look at that. It's a skeleton. It's a saguaro skeleton.
It's Ina Road in Marana. Not too shabby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So many great not too shabbies. Anyway, all right. I'm being a goof. But seriously, I'm the best at something. I'm not good at a lot of things, But by the way, all right. So I actually have my list. Please, by the way, you're welcome to just share if you feel comfortable. Like, what's like one good thing that happened in 2020 or whatever? What's one hard thing that happened in 2020? But I will say this. Personally, I'm a mental health therapist. I work full time. I've been working remotely where I see all my clients through my laptop. I'm tapping the camera there. I work full time. I'm helping people. You know what I mean? I'm so thankful. 2020 has been great. I'm like in I dare say I'm in the prime of my work life where I'm kicking butt. I'm helping people. I have a really rewarding job listening to people, hearing their stories, trying to help them to grow and heal. So like my 2020, the sacrifices I've made for COVID are hardly anything. I don't eat out as much. I have to wear a dumb mask. It's a pain sometimes, but overall, it's nothing. I'm so fortunate. So, and then also my YouTube channel has been fun, man. I do these live streams about twice a week, and I just talk. Sometimes I'm more goofy. Like right now, I'm in a motel and I want to keep my voice low because these walls are kind of thin, and So anyway, but it's been fun. I'm going to go through my not too shabby video list. I'm going to find some good not too shabbies I've made over 2020. All right. Let me just scroll a little bit. Yeah. Kelly, you're welcome. You're welcome, Kelly. I remember lecturing you. There was a couple times in 2020 where I lectured you by Messenger, Facebook Messenger, or whatever it's called. And don't give up. Don't give up. Sometimes you got to fight. You got to have an attitude of, I remember telling you that you got to fight. And it's a lesson for me too, because it's easy to get depressed. There are times where I feel like, man, this is hopeless, or I don't know. And we have to at least, anyway, all right, I won't lecture you, but you got it, Kelly. I nagged you. Yeah, Kelly. Kelly, the good news about New Year's Eve ending or New Year's is then there's nothing in between now and Drama Queen Day, which is coming up. I think it's like January 27th. And that's my holiday, Drama Queen Day. So, hey, all right. So 2020, here's a good one. Here's a not too shabby.
It's my green mask. Not too shabby.
Sadly, I lost. I lost that mask. I can't find it now. I think I dropped it while on a walk. So let me find some more not too shabbies. Ooh, Chinese black tea with my friend Dave. Here.
It's Chinese black tea. Not too shabby.
Hey, there's been a few not too shabbies where my voice is squeaked. And then it makes it really bad. It's so bad that it gets good again. Oh, how about the Panda Express drive-thru? Here.
It's Panda Express food in the drive-thru. Not too shabby.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Kansas Kelly, you're in a not too shabby. Here, Kelly, that was 2015. Kelly, wait, here it is. Kelly, there you are. I forgot their names, but your daughter and her now husband. Yes, Kansas. It says Kansas Kelly and family. Remember this? Here we go.
This is Kansas Kelly and her family. Not too shabby.
Yeah, do you remember that? Kelly, what was the name of your dog? I've got your dog in a not too shabby. Here. Wait. I got it. Here, wait. I know. Here. This will surprise you. Kelly, do you remember this? Come on. YouTube, you're so stupid. What was the name of your dog? Dog. I got so many dog. Here it is. 3 dogs at a friend's house. Remember this? Everyone, this is Kelly's dogs. All right, here we go.
It's the 3 dogs in the Kilby household. Not too shabby.
Yeah. Kelly, I remember I visited you. It was 2018, and I was just driving all over Kansas. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm close to Gardner. And I texted you. And I was like, I'm coming. I'm going to knock on your door in about 5 minutes. I think you were in the shower. It was like your lunch break or something. And you were like, oh my gosh, Steve Groofy's here. What are you doing in Kansas? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I got fired from my job. And I just decided to go for a drive. And then I was remember that? That's when I did was that when I did the Price Chopper? No. That was 2015. Price Chopper. The Price Chopper supermarket, everybody. This is what I think of this supermarket.
It's a Price Chopper supermarket. Not too shabby.
Filthy, what did I get fired for? What did I get fired for? The shortest answer is, I don't know. It's funny, but it's not. I don't know. I got fired because I lost my temper and I cursed out a fellow therapist who deserved it. But I clearly deserve to get fired too. I don't know what to say. That's my best answer, but I did kind of curse out a guy that. So now I don't have. Just a little, shout out to God. God, after that job, God worked it out where now I have no boss, no coworkers, pretty much no people to deal with. I work alone. I have no annoying people, annoying administrators, no coworkers, because I have a hard time with people. I don't like working in teams. Everyone just leave me the F alone and let me work and help people and do my counseling. So, anyway, yeah. Anyway, so that's what happened. But yeah, now I work. I'm so grateful, And by the way, if that guy that I chewed out, if he's watching, I wish you the best. I'm sorry I screamed at you. That's all. That's all I can say. All right. Hey, Kelly, here's one. I forgot your daughter's name here, but here, it's a teenager with a pink phone. Here it is, everyone.
It's a teenage girl talking on a pink phone. Not too shabby.
Caitlin, that's her name. Yes, Caitlin. Kelly, do you remember this one? I made a whole bunch of not too shabbies with you and your family.
Late night driving in Kansas City. Not too shabby.
Hey, Sam the King. No, Karen the Counseling, that's kind of my thing. That's kind of my thing right now. Kelly, I just want to say one thing to you. I know this is kind of like there's 9 people watching, and I remember you visited me. I just want to shout out to you because in early 2015, I was having a hard time with life, and you came and visited me. This video right here. I remember.
This is Kansas Kelly and her family. Not too shabby.
It's a fun video. It's a fun, happy thing. But I remember emailing you early 2015. I was having a hard time. I had problems. I had a girl that jacked me up real bad. That kind of broke my heart. That was a mess. I had money problems. I had where should I live problems. I was like, I needed to leave Buena Vista. I was stuck in Buena Vista. I just had all these problems. And I don't know if I was depressed. I was having an adjustment disorder, which is a clinical way of saying I was just like having a crisis. It was just a hard time. Everything was like wrong. I felt like I was this big. And you came through with talking to me a few times. You visited me. Bernie came through. Bernie, my friend Ross, he came through. There were like 3 or 4 or 5 friends. I saw a counselor named Everett that just kind of helped me a little bit. Anyway, that early 2015 was like one of the biggest crises of my adult life, where it was like, you just talk about getting beaten down. And I just appreciate your kindness and looking after me, and that whole crisis made me a more compassionate person, and it set me up for a lot of success moving on with 2016 to today, this year, with helping people, having compassion, having empathy, So anyway, I'm just talking here. So a little sappy. Hey, Jeff, happy New Year's Eve. It's 9:00 here in Arizona. We got 3 hours. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to bed in about 15, 20 minutes because I'm old. I don't do New Year's nonsense. I'm just here, pretty boring, eating my pineapple chunks. I eat boring fruit from a can. Drinking my black cherry flavored sparkling water. And I drink it because it's got 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 caffeine, 0 sodium. It's just everything 0. I sure hope this isn't too bad for you because I drink a lot of this. So I'm pretty boring. I'm so boring. In 2020, I drank 1 beer. That was the extent of my alcohol consumption. I was over Dwight's house, my neighbor. And I don't know how it came up, but I was over his house and he drinks a beer. He always has 1 or 2 beers a day or whatever. And I was just like, Dwight, let me have a beer. I just need to, Anyway, I drank the beer and it was like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. And all that beer did to me, it just made me so lazy and tired and bloated. I just felt like my whole stomach was like expanding with fat. And I was like, I went to bed and it was like not fun to have a beer. I don't even like the taste of beer anymore. That's how boring I am. I don't even know. Yeah. Is that like, hey, Paulie? By the way, to everyone, if you're in Europe, I love you. Because right now it's 4 a.m. and Sam the King is a British man. He's English. And he's in the live stream at 4 a.m. I do these live streams around usually like 6, 7, like early evening. And it's like 2 in the morning in Europe. It's like Germany is 1 hour behind or ahead of, behind or ahead, I forget. It's like 1 hour later in Germany. I've got German people coming in, Irish people. I really appreciate my European followers. Hey, Zachary. Hey, V Palantino. So I see we got some 9/11 conspiracy theorists. So I don't do conspiracy theories. I live in the truth, telling the truth, Wow, it's interesting. So many people hate beer. No kidding. Beer sucks. I've had beer where it's like a microbrew. The microbrews are kind of good, but they're still not worth drinking. In America, if you want 1 microbrew, if you're at a restaurant and you can order a microbrew, they're usually $5 or $6 for 1 bottle of beer. And not that I shouldn't be so cheap, but that's ridiculous. It's not even that good. So, yeah. Sam, you got to cook a pizza at 4 in the morning in the United Kingdom. That's awesome, man. Anyway, Sam the King, thank you. Happy New Year. I just want to, seriously, you're a regular, you're awesome. And I want to thank you for I just love your comments. I love your not too shabby support. You're all right. If you ever come to America, I'm in Colorado and Arizona, and you're welcome to come out here. We're the best part of America. I'm biased. Don't go to New York or Chicago. Come to Colorado. Come to Arizona. Come to New Mexico. It's kind of a mix of Colorado, Arizona. So, all right, I got to boot This person, I just got a boot. Oh, we've got some more. We've got some more odd people in here that I got a boot. Yeah. We've got some unruly people. Like, I will say this, I'm not I have good boundaries. I have no problems banning people from my live stream. By the way, hey, Christy Jones. Hey, you're in Nebraska? That's awesome. Happy New Year. Yeah. All right, so let me just say one thing. As a mental health therapist, the topic of boundaries comes up. My clients talk to me about their problems. This is going on. They just need to talk about issues, relationship problems, you name it, all sorts of stuff. The topic of boundaries comes up a lot. Here's the number one rule I tell my clients about boundaries. Number one rule is this. Whenever you set a boundary, inherently, you will always feel like the bad guy. There'll be this little voice in your head saying, why are you so mean? Why are you so harsh? Why do you have to rock the boat like that? People are going to get mad. You're such a jerk. It's okay. That goes with setting boundaries. So just accept that little voice and set the boundary anyway. Set the boundary. That's number one. You will always feel a little bit like the bad guy. Sometimes you really feel like the bad guy. So what? Do what's right. Set the boundary. No one's going to set the boundary for you. Set the boundary. So that's number one. Okay, number two. All right. Hey, Paulie, I'm just rambling about mental health and boundaries. All right. Number two, I always tell my clients, to some extent, it's not really a boundary unless there's a consequence, either implied, like it really isn't a boundary if you sort of like say, hey, this is how I want things. I don't want you to blah, blah, blah. If there isn't a consequence for people who don't respect your boundary, or you know what I mean? So to some extent, remember that. It's not really a boundary unless there's a consequence. It could be a really harsh consequence, like, hey, this is a deal breaker for me. If you can't, like, I want you to abide by, this boundary, or we can't be friends. It can be as harsh as that. Like, hey, I'm not going to talk to you. We're not going to hang out. Other boundaries can simply be, other consequences can simply be speaking up and being like, hey, that's not okay. Confronting people or whatever. But remember, it's not a boundary unless there's kind of a consequence. So how's my lecture on boundaries, by the way? I don't know. What was it? Does anybody care about my boundaries discussion? Am I boring? All right, the third general rule I have about boundaries is, what was the third rule? To some extent, all right, well, I mean, you kind of know how much someone respects you, or it's not always, but in general, you know how much somebody loves you, respects you, wants to be in your life, insofar as they respect your boundaries. If someone like that point where someone doesn't respect you, if they're not abiding by, if they don't respect your boundaries. And it's the other way around. If someone really cares about you, if someone really loves you, they'll abide by your boundaries. They'll be like, all right, this is what you want. Okay, that's cool. Maybe I don't understand why, but I'm going to learn why, So, but to make no mistake, in abusive relationships, or where there's domestic violence or narcissistic abuse, something where there's like something not going well, it's common for the abuser to have absolutely no respect for a person's boundaries, and abusers blame their victims, for, like, you made me do this, you made me beat you up, or, you make me so angry that blah, blah, blah. So anyway, all right. So this is kind of a heavy topic, but boundaries. It's so important to set boundaries. By the way, pick your poison too. I tell my clients this sometimes, pick your poison. Because sometimes when you set boundaries, people are not going to like it. They're not going to like you. They're going to be mad at you. It's either that or don't set boundaries, and then you suffer the consequences of not having as good a life, settling. You feel compromised because you're not setting boundaries. So pick your poison. Pick your you can't have it all. So, okay. I'm just lecturing. Pretty soon I'm gonna get off, but here's just a random, not too shabby. It's called A Hippie Woman Singing on Radio. Not too shabby. Come on, play.
Listening to a hippie woman sing. Is the not too shabby.
Hey, Christy Jones. I think I have a Nebraska not too shabby. Let me see here. Nebraska. Let's see. Yeah, Nebraska. The Good Life. Nebraska. The Good Life. We have no mountains, no scenery, and a lot of areas it's smelly and flat. But it's the good life. All right, here we go. Play. So frustrating.
It's the Nebraska state line. Not too shabby.
There you go, Nebraska. Yeah. Nebraska. But I'm sorry, I'm not politically correct on geography matters, so it's real close between Nebraska and Kansas. Which state has worse scenery? I'm just curious. And Kansas Kelly, are you there? Christy, which state would you say has worse scenery? Kansas or Nebraska? It's real close, All right, sorry. So, wait, who texted me? Kansas Kelly. Oh my gosh, Kelly sent me this. Kelly sent me a live stream. Kelly was watching my live stream. I think she's gone. And it's a picture of her living room. And she, there's my face. She was watching me on my TV. Isn't that amazing? Kelly, that's so cool. Happy New Year, Kelly. Oh, there you are, Kelly. That's so cool, Kelly. Oh, Kelly, who's home? Is Rich home? What are you doing? Are the kids home? Christian's home, right? Who's home? What are you doing? I'm just curious. Rich says Kansas. Oh my gosh. Rich is watching my live stream. That's cool. Hey, Rich. So you guys are doing all right? That's cool. I'm getting all embarrassed. I shouldn't be embarrassed, but I don't know. I get all self-conscious. Hey, speaking of Kansas, I'm still a Wichita State fan. And here's my Wichita State Shockers here.
It's my Wichita State Shockers t-shirt. Not too shabby!
I got my shirt over there. I got the Wichita State shirt. Isn't that a great one? Look at that thumbnail. Oh my gosh, I look disturbed. Rich, you think I'm the most interesting person? That's so cool. Thank you, Rich. Rich, we need to talk because I was so upset. Let's talk about Kelly. I was so upset in September. I'm still mad at Kelly's friends because it was true. They came out to Colorado for a getaway, a much needed getaway. And I get it. There was 2 days where the smoke from the wildfires was so bad in Colorado that it was to the point where it was like, you really don't want to stay outside for more than a few minutes. You couldn't even see the mountains. It looked like Nebraska. So it was kind of awful. And then after that, then it snowed. We had this crazy snowstorm September 9th and the 10th. And then the 11th, I think it was like really cold. So it was like this 4 or 5 day period where it was like, it just wasn't ideal. And I guess her friends wanted to leave. I was mad. Kelly, I didn't expect Kelly to want to visit me. I'm in Westcliff. She needs help, of course, like call me or something. I don't expect her to visit me, or she wants to go to Rocky Mountain National Park and other great places. So I was just very upset that her friends wanted to leave, so there's smoke outside. Okay, it's going to clear. So you stay at your Airbnb or your hotel and you have fun and you play Scrabble and you laugh. You find ways to make it a fun thing. Yeah, Kelly, I was mad. I was mad. I was mad too, but it wasn't my place to lecture you or, it's not my place to, but I was upset. And anyway, okay. I'm not going to, Kelly. See, I'm like, I do everything alone. I'm a single guy. So when I go on vacation, I usually go alone. And I don't care. I just do what I want. Maybe that's not. You always have to have friends. You might do it better than I do. But there was a part of me that was like, you tell your friends they can leave on their own. Go rent a car one way. Because you're staying. Yeah, you could have stayed over my place. By the way, in 2020, I really made my house nice. And it's clean. I'm not really known for cleanliness, and so you could have stayed. But anyway, well, Kelly, listen, you're just come back to Colorado, okay? Hey, Laura. Yeah. Crispy says Kansas was the longest, most boring drive I've ever been on. Oh. Yeah, Kansas, just driving. All right. Bottom line is I make fun of Kansas and Nebraska and Iowa. I just do. They're too easy to make fun of. All right. Hopefully you're not offended. Every once in a while, someone's offended. And just come on. Just let me have a little bit of fun. It's 2020 for crying out loud. Like, seriously. Hey. Anyway, Rich, thank you for saying I'm the most interesting person. I seriously appreciate that. I don't know how interesting. Hey, everyone, let's do a weather check. I'm a snowbird down here in southern Arizona. So 2 or 3 times a day, I do a weather check. It's funny because sometimes I get every once in a while, I get down or depressed like anyone really. And I get like lonely, or I think I just want to go home to my house in Colorado. But then I do a weather check. Right now in Tucson, Arizona, it's 48. Okay, it's 48 degrees. And tomorrow, our high was only 61, and it's 48. Westcliff, Colorado, right now it's 21. Would you rather have 48 or 21? I'll take 48 any day. Now, actually, that's only a 27-degree difference. Usually, I've been watching it. Usually, Tucson's about 30 to 32 degrees warmer than Westcliff. And when it can get up to like 38 degrees difference. So, anyways, it's not that big of a difference to be at 48, But that's 27 degrees, Yeah, Laura, it's 20 degrees in Chicago. Hey, Laura, are you going to be cycling? What are your cycling goals for 2021? Come on. What are your goals? Hey, Laura, I got your Facebook friend request. I did not accept it, but do not take it personally, because at this point with Facebook, it's just a train wreck. I mean, I'm just losing friends. I'm just losing friends on Facebook, like left and right. Like I'm just done with, yeah, Facebook is not the place to connect with me. If you want to be friends with me, like let's just not be friends on Facebook. let's just be real friends. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Anyway, Kelly, when are you coming back to Colorado? When are you coming back? You know? So, Patrice, how are you doing? Patrice is in a not too shabby. Everyone, Patrice. Actually, all right, the not too shabby of Patrice is the same place that I did the not too shabby with Kelly. It was at the rodeo grounds in Buena Vista. Here it is. Here's the not too shabby.
I'm with Patrice and Ed, and we're looking at Mount Princeton. Not too shabby.
Patrice said, not too shabby. That was an old one. So, oh. Hey, Laura, are you going to bike across America? Come on, man, do it. Come on, Laura, do it for me. Do it. Bike across America. Seriously. Anyway, maybe I'm just running my mouth because I kind of want to bike across America again. I'm too much of a head case right now. I actually have a therapist where I talk to her about how I'm depressed because I've only biked across America 3 times. And she looks at me with disbelief. She doesn't even know what to say. She's like, I haven't ridden a bicycle in 20 years. And, you know, isn't that crazy? It just goes to show you how screwed up I can be. So, Kelly, you ask, when am I going back to Colorado? Hey, I'm honestly, I'm guessing. I think I'll be back in Colorado, and it'll probably be late March or early April. I got to be honest with you. The only thing that holds me back from staying till about May 1st is I got to get my taxes done. And, you know, I want to get home and I probably need to be home and then see my accountant and hand in my papers, you know, all my forms. But if it wasn't for taxes, I would be like May 1st. Or I should stay in Tucson until it hits 100 degrees. So I can at least experience 100 degrees, which, I mean, I'm malnourished when it comes to heat. I mean, in Westcliff, the hottest it ever gets to is like 85, 86. So, yeah. Hey, Laura, you're going to bike from Chicago to Louisiana? That's so cool. You go. At the Little Tokyo Mall, you're going to finish. That's in Louisiana? Wow. That's really cool. Laura, seriously, I just want to encourage you. Have fun. If you need any encouragement, you know, let me know. Okay? I want to encourage you. So, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm doing a live stream. This is, you know what's crazy about this? Most people do live streams and it's like, I don't know, like all I do is sit and talk. I'm like, it's almost like a radio broadcast, except you can see me. So it's just like a radio and I'm all alone. Like all I have is the chat section and then I'm all alone. So, and anyway, you know, like if I was a big time celebrity, there would be hundreds of people watching at once or thousands. You know, if I'm Tom Hanks or some movie star, I don't know. You know what I mean? Or Taylor Swift. So I have 8 people watching right now, but I was up to 12. So I'm just honored that there's 8 people watching. Yeah, Kelly, I'm telling you, I've got one spare bedroom, and I need to really make it nice. That might be my project for the summer of 2021. Is just to paint the walls a nicer color. Right now it's like a dark green, and put a queen bed in there, and I can make it really nice. So my house isn't very big. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, a little townhome. I think it's only like 750 square feet, but it's lovely. It's lovely. My spare bedroom actually has a better view of the mountains than I do. My other bedroom, but so you should come visit, you know. So yeah, Kelly. Yeah, Kelly. My house was cheap. Homes in Westcliff are still pretty affordable. I'm telling you, still pretty affordable. So, if you look at houses in Salida, like the really nice mountain towns, it's way too high. You can still buy an affordable house in Pueblo. Canyon City isn't that bad. And even Westcliff, I call it a poor man's Buena Vista. So because you got the mountain views, but it's still kind of undeveloped. There's not a lot of things to do. It's not so many hiking trails, or there's no Cottonwood Pass. There's no Arkansas River. It's still a little redneck and Westcliff and backwards, and it's okay. But Buena Vista has a vibe that's like, hey, you're in the mountains. Welcome. Go, go, go. Go enjoy St. Elmo. You can go to St. Elmo from Buena Vista. Westcliff doesn't even really have there are ghost towns, but they're not like worth going to. Or so anyway, I'm rambling. I'm not trying to knock Westcliff, but that's why Westcliff and Silvercliff are more affordable. And I hope to pay off my house in a couple of years. Definitely in 2 years, I'll have my house paid off. I'm pretty sure. No question. So, anyway. Yeah, Kelly, you do need a bed. Yes, Kelly, yes. So Rich used to work at the conference center in Westcliff. That's cool. And I forget which one. And then they changed name. Like one of them changed its name because it has new ownership. There used to be a ski area in Westcliff, and I guess they couldn't make enough money. There wasn't enough snow. I don't know what's going on, but I guess there's not enough snow now. So, but what was I going to say? So anyway, but that would be so cool if somehow the ski area could, it would be kind of cool if there was skiing in Westcliff, because then the town would be happening. There'd be more activity in the winter, and obviously housing prices would go up. Horn Creek. I think that they changed their name. I forget. Horn Creek, and there's a second one, but then one of them changed its name. Horn Creek is the one that doesn't have the ski area, right? Is that what it is? Anyway. One highlight of 2020 was I finally got a few hummingbirds. There was about a 6 to 8 week period where there were about 4 to 6 hummingbirds living in the neighborhood, and they would come by. They would definitely come by and drink from my hummingbird feeders. So not all the time, and they would get really scared if I was sitting out there and I picked up my camera, just the movement of my arm and holding up my phone, that would be enough to scare them away. So I've been around places where there's like 8 to 10 hummingbirds, and you can get like the hummingbirds right here, and you can get like within, 8 inches and do a little video, take pictures of them. They're not scared of you at all. Well, the hummingbirds at my place, they're still kind of skitsy. They're not used to me enough. So anyway, but I was so pleased. I actually got some hummingbirds. So, and for a little while, there was one bully. There's one bully hummingbird that was kind of scaring off the others, and it was kind of interesting. So anyway, I'm just blabbing about hummingbirds. When you become a middle-aged man who doesn't drink beer and just eats pineapple chunks, and you're just this boring, serious mental health therapist lecturing people in their 20s about setting boundaries, you know, it's exciting to have hummingbirds at your house. Like that gets me all excited. Oh, a hummingbird. Look, there's a hummingbird. Look at my flowers. I got like hollyhock flowers. Those hollyhocks, they're pretty cool, you know. Or I got my 2 aspen trees. I got 2 aspen trees. So it was crazy. I got this little garden area. I paid $75 for an aspen tree that was like 15 feet tall. And the guy planted it, a gardener guy, and I paid him another 30, 40 bucks. All right, so he planted an aspen tree. All right. And then, like, was it that year? Later that year in the summer, like late summer, another tree started to sprout kind of on the other side of the garden. I was like, what is that thing? It turned out it was a tree. It was another aspen tree that just grew out of nowhere. And the natural tree that just grew without anything, it's like 25 feet tall. It's bigger and thicker than the aspen tree I got planted. So it's just crazy. So I have 2 aspens in my little backyard. So yeah. Kelly, you know me well. You know I can be a bitch. Like I've got this bitch streak where it's like, whoa, what is going on with your hormones? I can be a witch with a B. And my closest friends know that. So I am. Some of my clients who that are like my counseling clients that know me well, if they trust me, like we've got a good long-standing relationships, I'll let them know. I'm like, listen, man, your therapist, I'm the biggest bitch out there. So I can't judge you about anything at all. You know? I'm telling you, man, like I get bad. I go on these like crazy. Anyway. All right. So enough about the B word. But oh no. I had a friend. She was like, I saw this mug and I thought of you. This friend, she's in Ohio, and she was like messaged me and she was like, hey, I thought of you. I saw this. One crazy bitch. You know? I'm like, gee. I was like, thanks, Melanie. Thanks for thinking of me. You think I'm a bitch. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm a bitch. So, hey, Rodney. Hey, buddy. Rodney, let me put you on the spot. What's your favorite Not Too Shabby video and why? Just real fast. What's the first one? What's your favorite Not Too Shabby video? Patrice, what's your favorite Not Too Shabby? Kelly, what's your favorite Not Too Shabby? Laura, how about yours? Come on, just spit it out. What's the first one that came to mind? You know? So, hey, Rodney. Hey, wait, one last thing. Kelly, in my house, I've got this Westcliff banner. It's like it's like an old Western style wooden thing you put on the wall. It says Westcliff, established 1887, elevation 7888. Isn't that neat? I decorated my house pretty nice. Okay, Rodney, let me play your favorite Not Too Shabby, Holtville, California. Holtville, Not Too Shabby. I'm mistyping a lot. Here's your favorite.
Holtville, Elevation 13. Not too shabby.
Elevation 13. How about that? The backstory is I was biking across America in 2017, and we started in San Diego, and we were working our way. That morning, we were in El Centro. We were biking. We biked through Holtville, and we just briefly stopped for 5-10 minutes to rest. And then eventually we biked all the way to Yuma that day. So yeah. NVDIA guy, your favorite is the Not Too Shabby gun. Okay, I'll play that one. That's actually kind of like a special. It's not like, it's like a special, but this is your favorite.
It's my not too shabby shooting gun. Not too shabby.
So what's the backstory? H.G. Allen, this college student in Washington State, he made that. He just made that out of his own creativity, and he sent it to me. And he was like, "Here, do you like this?" I was like, "Of course I like it." So it's a not too shabby. I did a not too shabby of my pepper spray. So he took that and he kind of did this crazy. So isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. You've never seen that, Shadoza? You've never seen that? The not too shabby? It's called Whoa, a special not too shabby. Whoa, a special not too shabby. It's been watched 5,000 times. I'll play one more time.
It's my not too shabby shooting gun. Not too shabby.
So the backstory was I made a not too shabby on my 2017 Bike Across America story. I was in Mississippi and I did a not too shabby of my pepper spray. So, and then H.G. Allen made this a few months later. So he was just being creative. Isn't that pretty cool? So, yeah. Listen, pretty soon I'm going to wrap things up. So I really do need to go to bed pretty soon here. I'm getting up sort of early. I'm going to go on a bike ride tomorrow. And, the other thing, too, is I'm just worried about the motel connection where it seems like it goes out every hour or two. It goes out because it's like a motel. It's just a cheap connection. And so I'm worried about being suddenly disconnected where I can't say goodbye. So anyway, I might finish up here in 5-10 minutes. NV Idiot Guy, where was the last place I rode my bike? That's easy. Gila Bend. It was last weekend. Last weekend or 2 weeks ago? Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Last place I rode was Gila Bend, Arizona. So southwest of Phoenix. So yes, here, Shadoza. Here's the not too shabby of the pepper spray. I'll show you that. Here's the normal not too shabby.
It's my pepper spray canister. Not too shabby.
Oh, gosh. Shadoza. What's the best way to get in touch? You'll be going. Don't you have my phone number? I texted you, but it's been like 2 years. Do you have my phone number? I'm curious. I'm not going to give my phone number through the live stream, though. I'm sorry. So, yeah. Sam the King, you're still awake? It's 4:45 in the morning in England, and you're still up. You are an amazing regular. Everyone, Sam the King, you're all right, man. Seriously, you come to America. you've got somebody in Colorado and Arizona, all right, to help you out. Rodney, no, I'm originally from New Jersey, but for most of my adult years, I've lived in Colorado, and right now I'm half and half. I'm 6-7 months in Colorado, and then 5 or 6 months in Arizona. So I'm kind of a split. I'm like Bo Jackson, you know. I do two things. So, yeah. Shadoza, I'll have to have your daughter message me, and I'll give you my phone number. Okay? Shadoza, have your daughter message me, and all right? And then I'll give your daughter my number, and then she can give it to you, and then you can call or text me. Yeah. Rodney, I tried. Well, like right now I'm I don't own a house or anything in Arizona. I don't even have an apartment. I just have I stay in a motel for 2 weeks, an Airbnb for 1 week, this motel for 2 weeks, this hotel for a week. So I was in Gila Bend. I've been on this trip. I've mostly been in the Tucson area, but I've been around a little bit more here and there. Last winter, I was in Yuma for a few weeks, So yeah. So, and if there wasn't a pandemic, I would go to California and stay at a beach town, San Diego, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Kelly, Sam the King is like the Nick of my YouTube community. Nick was a British friend I had many years ago. So, NVIDIA, have I ever been outside the US? Yes, I've been to Mexico a few times. I've been to Canada a few times, and I've been to Russia. Those are the 3 places outside the US I've been to. Yeah. All right, here's just a random, not too shabby. Lysol disinfectant spray. Not too shabby. I look very passionate, don't I? Oh my gosh, here we go.
It's Lysol disinfectant spray. Not too shabby.
That had to have been during the pandemic. Yeah, it has. I made that 6 months ago. So many great not too shabbies. Don't you agree? Yeah, I've been to Russia. I was studying Russian. I can still read some Russian phonetically. And I made some good Russian friends that I keep in touch with a few. But yeah, summer of 1999, I was in Russia. Wonderful country, horrible, government, and it's too bad because the people are good, wonderful people, but they just, when it comes to freedom, voting rights or, all that kind of stuff, it's not good. The economy is terrible. Actually, from the summer of 1999, a lot of the people I kept in touch with and befriended back then, most of them are not in Russia. In fact, almost all of them emigrated. They left Russia. They went to Australia. A couple of people are in Europe, Western Europe, Eastern Europe. Yulia, my friend Yulia, is in North Carolina. It's kind of funny. They all left. They all got out of Russia. There's not enough opportunity. The corruption. It's too bad. Russia's a good, anyway. So, yeah, man. Rodney, what countries have you been to outside America? Have you been anywhere? I'm kind of curious. Let me find. I don't even want to watch this. This is going to upset me. Here's just a random blue raspberry cherry Powerade. Not too shabby. Let's play this.
It's blue raspberry cherry Powerade.